Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga.
Kapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird of Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
Hello, world. It's Bird of Prey 5 Kapla, and welcome to Bed Life for August 11th, 2023. It has been one of those weeks. One of those weeks. I hesitate to talk about what I'm going to because I feel I don't want to feel like I'm inserting myself into I am. But I don't want to feel I'm going to do it, but I don't want to feel like I'm doing it. I want to feel like I have some justification for what I'm about to say, but I'll be honest, when I think about it and rethink about it and think about it some more, there is no way I can justify what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I feel horrible for the people being affected by the wildfires in Hawaii. I do. It is awful. They have my sympathies. I feel bad for them. But I also feel bad for myself. Not that I'm there. I'm not there with them. I did not have to, thank God, evacuate last night because I would have died. I didn't have to do that. But it affects me. It's affecting me mentally quite a bit. And I'm not saying people should feel bad for me. I'm not, that's not what I'm asking. I just want to explain. Hawaii was my rock. Hawaii was the one place I depended on. Okay? Hawaii was my safety, my safe space. When I was in the coma for those months, near death. And my brain had to create a fiction, a fantasy in which to live while my body was fighting the good fight. It didn't choose my beloved Sedona, Arizona, where I had incredible memories and the natural beauty is second to none. It didn't choose upstate New York and the great city of Caroga, that my life, my years, my many years of my life, some of my best memories are tied to Caroga Lake, New York. It didn't choose Caroga. It didn't choose Las Vegas, where as an adult, I had many a nice times in Las Vegas. Some of my happiest memories, some of them are from Las Vegas. No, it chose Hawaii, which Hawaii was a beautiful place. I visited. I spent almost a month there over work. Over in February of 2005, I believe. It was a beautiful place, but it was a nice place. I never thought of Hawaii at the time I was visiting it to be the most beautiful place I had been to. It was nice. It was warm. It wasn't too hot. It was a fun spot. It wasn't too fun. It wasn't the funnest, but it was a nice place. And thinking of it, I could see my whole family finding something they enjoyed there. And like the safest spot I could imagine was Hawaii. Now, years later, after I woke up from the coma, maybe in the first few years that I was home after the hospital stay, I watched I believe it was a show, and they were talking about the safest place. Like, what is literally the safest state to live in the United States, to be free from weather, natural disaster. What is the safest state? And I was like, nobody would say Hawaii is the safest space from a natural disaster. I know why, because it was right after the 2004 tsunami, right? That giant tsunami that killed, what was it, like millions of people or 500,000 people or whatever. It was ridiculous body count. One of the biggest body counts from a natural disaster we've ever seen in my lifetime. And I think it was 500,000 dead from this fucking tsunami. And like, you think, well, Hawaii is right in the middle of the Pacific. Tsunami comes, what are you going to do? But they said, no, the reality is the only real serious disaster that Hawaii could face at this point was a tsunami. But there are tsunami warnings, and God forbid, you have to just go up. And the Hawaiian Islands are all centered with mountains. So if the alarm goes off, the tsunami alarm goes off, you just have to get to higher ground. And that just means moving inland. And, whatever the tsunami that's going to come, it's not going to be a mile high. thankful, I mean, unless we get hit by the asteroid that ends all life, in which case it really doesn't matter where you are. But any real, whether it's a 10-foot tsunami or a 100-foot tsunami, you only got to move up the mountain, a few hundred yards, and you'll survive the tsunami. I mean, it'll be a long time before life gets back to normal. You probably have to be rescued and be moved to a mainland or another island, but you would live. Okay. The volcano, you only have to really worry about if you're on the big island. The other islands, you really don't have to worry about the volcano. Volcanoes are all dormant, extinct. Only Big Island has a volcano. So, like, everything that I heard from, and I remember them saying that this was from the, as calculated by insurance companies, that the safest spot you could be was Hawaii. You really didn't get hurricanes. You didn't get tornadoes. You didn't get earthquakes. It was one of the safest spaces you could be. And I thought maybe I had figured that to myself, and like Hawaii was my rock, my safe space. And when I was in the deepest need for somewhere safe, my body said, we're going to live in Hawaii. And my family was there. And I remember when in my dream, Mama Frey said something like, oh, we sold your house. We bought you one on Hawaii, and we don't have to worry about anything anymore. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And even though Hawaii wasn't where I ever figured I would retire, I was happy to be there with the family O'Prey. And it was nice. It was comforting. I was happy. Didn't have to be, okay, it wasn't Arizona. It wasn't upstate New York. It wasn't California. And I say that as in the beauty that is Southern California topography, not the garbage that is the politics of the state, but the natural beauty of the state. There wasn't any of those places, but it was nice nonetheless. Very nice, even. Granted, I knew that if the world economy ever fell apart, if they stopped getting their regular shipments of energy, of food, yeah, things would be bad. Things would be bad. It's not self-sustaining. It needs to get electricity. It needs to get energy, and it needs to get food imported so that society doesn't break down. But in the 90s and 2000s, nobody ever really thought that the world economy would be so close to collapse. It was only in the 2020s, after the pandemic, did we really see how close the production lines are to falling apart. That was very recent. In those days, nobody worried. Nobody worried that we were going to run out of toilet paper. And of course, we were never running out of toilet paper, but we might have run out of the ability to keep packing toilet paper. Anyway, Hawaii fell in the last 2 nights. My safe space burned to the fucking ground. my safe space burned to the ground. And it's hit me. It's hit me hard. And like I said, I don't want to people feel bad. For me, that's not what I'm saying. Obviously feel bad for the people who've lost their homes, who've lost their lives, who've lost their pets, who've lost their friends or loved ones. Those are the people to feel bad for. I'm not saying feel bad for me, but I am saying I'm fucked. I'm in a fucked up position right now. I don't like it. It has been a rough week. News is not great, and the one place I would always retreat to for safety, it's scary as fuck, because I'm seeing these pictures, and I have pictures of when I was there, and it is so very different. Richie Poole was first in the chat with an alpaca. Thank you, Richie. Last son of K, Kapla, last son of K, says, bed life, Kapla bird, and hello to the O'Praise, fellow mods and chat. I hope everyone is doing well. Sorry I was gone for a bit, but literally no internet access for 12 days. God, cable TV sucks. Oh my God, Kapla, last son of K. 12 days. I am so sorry. I am so glad you are back. I would imagine cable TV really does. Richie Poole puts in Mom O'Pray, Sis O'Pray, Nephew O'Pray, and the sassy emoji. And says, your feeble weapons will be useless against us. Thank you, Richie. Says, oh, and by the way, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. And John Araki with a $1 super chat a few 30 minutes ago. We'll play it again.
Indications negative at this time.
Thank you, John Araki. We got some eyebrow dax. John Araki says, hashtag Crow Nurse. Oh, John Araki. Crow Nurse. We need Kronos. If Kronos wants to be a nurse, now is the time. For those of you who are following, I don't know how much of it I spoke. We appeared that I was going to be getting a nurse, somebody who would be able to help relieve Mom O'Pray. That unfortunately all fell apart today. There will be no nurse. There's nobody coming to relieve Mom O'Pray. It all fell apart, and it's not coming back. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. John Araki says, hashtag the truth is out there. And Forza Jersey, with his 15-month membership as a Karogan orphan, says, Kapla, hail Karoga. Rock on, folks. Rock on, Forza. Rock on. And again, good evening to the lovely Yvette. Dave G. Sounds, it's afternoon, folks. Hail Karoga. Hail Dave G. Dave G says, if it wasn't for folks like you all to chat with, I would have lost my sanity last weekend. So thanks to all of you. Awesome. I am glad you are still sane, Dave G. Gorilla says, Kapla, Kapla, Gorilla. Ensign. Eastland Burkholder. Kapla, Eastland Burkholder. Says, hello all. Eastland says lack of sane people here to converse with. That's probably true. Where are we? Deej Odyssey is here, says afternoon all. Good afternoon, Deej. Sean PRK says, I don't doubt it. Dave G lost his mind last weekend. Eastland Burkholder says, jump on the table, Kirk. And Forza Jersey with a $2 super chat.
All right.
And Kissing Dax. Look, I'm feeling better already. Forza Jersey says, would a stripper nurse make you feel better? Probably for a few minutes. Probably for a few minutes. Not long enough. But probably for a few. Yes, Mama Fred. Oh, you were saying excuse you to Sassy? Oh, okay. Mama Fred was walking around Sassy. Hakeem says, hail bird and chat. Kapla Hakeem. Dave G Sound says, I'm being serious, though a chemical reaction side effect occurred from my surgery. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Dave G. How are you doing? Sean says, from now on, it's going to be under one roof. We, the people. Are we still that far behind? Sean says, hello to you all. Eastland Burkholder says, we all temporarily lose it. We can share the stories on Facebook chat. If you like, you're imagining it. Just calm down. Angie, the policeman, saw it and told me it happened. Not a hallucination. Then. Bradley Briggs says, zup, y'all. Zup, Bradley. And Eastland says, family can be weird. Sean PRK says, Kapla Bird, hope you and the family are doing well today. Eastland says, easier times ahead. Last on the case is sound is not good. Sound is not good. I hope it got better because, I didn't do anything about it. Mike Richards is greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Eastland says, I came here to hear what Bird thinks and feels. Well, then you came to the right place. John Araki says, hashtag trust no one. Carlo Albanese says, hi, hope everyone is as well as can be. Thank you, Carlo. And hail, Karoga. Jedi Bill says, Kapla Bird, and hail, Karoga. Kapla, Jedi Bill. How did your computer surgery go, Jedi Bill? He was doing surgery on his computer today. Last Son of Gay says, damn, I can barely hear Bird again. The YouTube app on my phone sucks. My volume is maxed out. Is anyone else having trouble hearing me? Eastland says, if you ever did that, evacuate. What do I grab? It's wild to do that. Bird, please put the volume louder. Let me see. Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5. Does that help? I know it's quite late, but hopefully that helps, because I don't think there's anything else. I guess I could try to move it closer. We'll see. Last on the case is hail to Jedi Bill. Deej Odyssey says, I don't feel sorry. They voted in the trash that allowed the mismanagement that hasn't kept up land management to help prevent these fires. I don't think it's about land management, Deej. Bradley Briggs says, yeah, thought I was going to go deaf for a bit, but YouTube app can't make up its mind when to sound good or not. Dave Jesus, Bird, can you call or contact me? Bird, you can call or contact me at any hour. Thank you, Dave. If you're feeling badly. Well, it's not like that. Last on the case is Deej. Most of us didn't want Dementia Joe in office either. It's always the corrupt that dwell in the shadows, manipulating everything. The average Canadian did ask for, I can't pronounce his name, Castro, whatever. Dave Jesus, I saw Dog the Bounty Hunter, and that totally shattered the Magnum PI vision I had of Hawaii. John Araki says, hashtag vote for Deej. And Eastland says, yes, Dog told us about ice in paradise. Gorilla's Random Thought says, 260,000 people hitting 12 nations. That was the death toll in the tsunami. Deej says, Hawaii has been a liberal cesspool for decades. No, Deej, it hasn't been a cesspool. See, that's the difference. California has been a cesspool. Hawaii was liberal, but it wasn't a cesspool. It was beautiful. I mean, they had Democrats, but they had the best Democrats, right? Like that lady that even I would have voted for president had she run. I forget who she is right now, but everybody knew her. Everybody knew her. You know, they were like Democrats, but they still like guns. Eastland says, I lived Magnum PI, but I knew that was not real. I didn't, but Eastland says, I lived Magnum PI. I meant I loved Magnum PI, but I knew it wasn't real. Dave Jesus, I knew Higgins was the boss before the end. Eastland says, bring back chest hair and short shorts worn by men. Magnum PI. And Eastland says, Higgins, the boss, that was my first thought. Dave Jesus, and Wachikawa, show music. Last on the case says, chest hair is okay, but skip the short shorts on men again, please. Low Specs Linux Laptop is in the house. Welcome. And Dave Jesus, short shorts are fine. It's the Speedo wearer that confounds me. Eastland says, short shirts on men and chest hair on men. John Araki says, least safe space to live, next to the evidence that could lead to the imminent arrest of Hillary Clinton. Eastland has 2 votes for short shorts. Dave G says, Hillary who? And it says, let it out. Captain Fandom Nerd, hello, Captain. Welcome. Last on the case said, short shorts on women is great. Bring back the Daisy Dukes. Richie Pools says, Arizona is safer than Hawaii. We don't have active volcanoes. Yeah, but you're on a desert. All your water comes from other states. You're you know, if God forbid the power grid went out, what happens? What, you die? I mean, it's too hot. It's too hot. If the power went out in Hawaii, it would be like, well, it's annoying, but nobody's freezing to death and nobody's boiling away. Eastland says transport systems are fragile. The power grid is fragile. I knew this, yes. And last, okay, and no, I still can't hear Bird that well. At some point, he'll see my chat and adjust. I am so sorry. It took a long time. Dave Jesus, Surf Arizona t-shirt in my science project. Richie Pools says Bird of Prey single-handedly caused the great toilet paper shortage of 2020. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Last on the case is not sure about Arizona. Super volcano looms under Yellowstone National Park. That's true enough. Eastlands is good for the goose, good for the gander. Matt G is waving. Hello, Matt G. Welcome. Last on the cases, I was starting to wonder if people thought I had passed on during my absence. I am so happy you did not. I am so happy you did not. Deej is again doing hashtag Crow Nurse. Richie Poole saying hey to Deej, saying hey back. John Araki says stripper nurse won't work because Bird only likes female nurses. That's true, but the stripper nurse better be a female nurse. Deej says not if the nurse uniform was sent to Kronos. You don't send a nurse uniform to Kronos. Eastland says need a vote on short shorts. I'm going to go ahead and say everybody's okay with short shorts on the opposite sex if they're attractive. Carl Albanese says, when I hear nurse, I instantly think of Animaniacs. Don't know why. Hello, nurse. Mako, welcome, Mako. Says, are there actual nurse strippers? I thought that only happened in the movies. You know, I can't confirm that there are actual nurse strippers, but as there are actual strippers, I can assume you could probably find one willing to dress up as a nurse before stripping. Positive Candor says, in a spoiler of Strange New Worlds, Patel did not die. Positive Candor, she dead. She dead. Deej Odyssey says, Eastland, well, I'm wearing shorts at the moment, and I do have a hairy chest, though it's all gray now and can't be seen easily. Lol. Carlo Albanese's got the umbrella up. We've been told that I got my alert that the area is expecting severe storm weather. But when I checked, it's coming tomorrow, not today. Forza Jersey says if Ferris Bueller can get one, they must be real. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, did you see the video of something coming from the sky right before the fires? I did not, Gorilla. And Gorilla says, my headphones just suck. Forza says, I'm watching you on my 65-inch TV. You sound great, Bird. Thank you, Forza. Job, aka LDG, says August 20th, Elihu and LDG will be live streaming from the same location. Will Florida survive? August 20th. Very cool. John Araki says Bird must really be mad that they filmed Lost in his safe space. Hashtag flashback. Fucking Lost. Don't get me started on Lost. At least they filmed Jurassic Park there. Last on the case is, like I said, it usually isn't Bird's fault. It's the fault of whatever I have to watch him on. It's always hit or miss over my phone. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says there was some video of a lady running from the fires and passed out, and some guys in a Jeep just drove by with one saying, "Keep going. We can't save her. People today are so selfish." Well, I mean, having not seen and not been there, I'm not going to pass judgment. It's possible the fire was moving that quickly. They had to get faster. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine being in that position, but who knows? I mean, if it was me and there was how would I know she's not dead? How would I know if she wasn't dead? If she was alive, yeah. The only way to tell would be to stop. Now, it was me, and they were saying, "Oh, there's a woman in the street." Yeah, okay, I'll pick her up. I'll take the chance, but that's easy for me to say when I'm not actually facing down a firestorm of death. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, you're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Yes, Tulsi. Yes, Tulsi was the Democrat from Hawaii. A whole different level of Democrat. Miss Lindell's Groovy Movie says Obama is from Hawaii. So what you're saying can't be true. No. Well, Obama purports to be from Hawaii. Who knows where Obama's from? It depends on who you ask. Don't ask his grandmother where he's from. You're not going to like that answer. Don't ask his brother that's still in Kenya either. Don't ask him. Deed says, and look how fast they turned on Tulsi. They become a liberal cesspool. Eastland says Sturgis Bud Light News. John Araki says, if you're well endowed, then short shorts are not an option. Antiderivative Jill says, hello, driving and listening. Welcome, Antiderivative Jill. Eastland Verkle that says, my headphones got chewed on by my bulldog. Oh no. And Eastland says, bird would melt where I live. Probably. Miss Lindell's Groovy Movies says, Hawaii isn't the paradise you think it is. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Cody Guy is waving. Welcome, Cody Guy. Last on the case says, I would melt where you live. I have been experiencing an off summer compared to much of the country this year. Not one heat wave so far this summer. Usually it's hot and muggy and miserable in the summer. John Araki says there are lots of girls paying their way through nursing school by stripping on OnlyFans. Carlo Albanese says stripping to pay for nurses' qualifications. Stripping to pay for nurses' qualifications. Captain Phantom Nerd says, Deej, how did the date go? Uh-oh. Deej was out on a date? Gorilla's Random Thought says, we had that last night. Get some good lightning shorts. Oh, yes, got some good lightning shorts, meaning YouTube shorts, last night. Deej says, oh, it was basically have a couple of drinks. She wanted to vent and get advice. Meh. I'm sorry it didn't go well. Captain Phantom Nerd says, Deej, so you didn't get lucky. That sucks. Gorilla says, oh, I will pass judgment. Deed says, no cap, I was home an hour later. Lol. John Araki says, can't get over that Bird is simping harder for Hawaii than for AOC. Hawaii is a nice spot. And I gotta be honest, you're really not gonna like the pictures I'm about to show. Carlos is a boomer. Oh, you mean Barry. And last on the case is Barry and Michael make an interesting couple, don't they? Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies says, I'm off to the salt mines. Tune in tomorrow for my groovy movie watch party. Ask Yvette for the details. Spill the details, Yvette. We want to know. We want to know. Indeed says, see you to Miss Londell. And Vincent Gallipo is here. Hello, Vincent. Kapla. Let's see. I'm going to show, let's see how we do this. Let's do it. Let's do this. Okay. So this is obviously Google Maps of Hawaii. Maui is this island here. This is the one that's on fire. Lanai is virtually a private island. Maui is the quintessential Hawaii. When I think of Hawaii, it's Maui. Now we zoom out a little more. You have the big island here, but this is virtually, while it's a lot bigger than Maui, Maui is a lot nicer an island. And you have over here where Honolulu is, this is the most built up island. Like Honolulu, you could be any place in the United States. Maui is the perfect amount, or where you got a little bit of a city in the center. You got your your Costco and all your city stuff. But then you have two loops, your Western Loop and your Eastern Loop. And the Western Loop, that was the happening loop. Okay. Lahaina is the town that basically burnt down. This entire, from what I could tell, virtually this entire city has, maybe not the whole city, but quite a bit of it has burnt down. And this is where a lot of the tourist stuff was. Now it also was where the only, at the time, now granted, we're going way back to 2005, so I don't know how much it's changed. But way back in 2005, the only ferry that could bring you to Lanai, this island, left out of Lahaina, and you would take like 90 minutes to cross, and you'd pull in to somewhere around here. And anyway, the point is, this area, this is beautiful, the most beautiful spot on Hawaii, perhaps, and this is where the fires were. And I'm going to tell you, the only way to get here is to come down, and then this one road that goes around the island near the beach, but it's a state road, one lane basically in each direction, and it fills up. You know, during rush hour, it is bumper to bumper to bumper. And there's no way, there's no going around it. It's literally the only road you can get, you can't leave. There's no way to evacuate quickly. So God forbid the fires are coming and it's a windy day. It never even occurred to me, like, what the hell would you do? I mean, people have said that they went out into the ocean, but I mean, it's a lot of places, there's no beach. It's just rocks. You can't go on the beach and go into the water and think that'll save you from the flames. The flames are going to come right up to the edge, and you'll be jumping into rocks, and the water is going to be pushing you right up against the rocks and bashing your head in, bashing your body against sharp lava rocks. These are not beaches that you can survive on. These are, small cliffs, and there's no place to go. So jumping in the ocean is not really an option. So yeah, when people had to go into the water, it was a last resort. It was an absolute last resort. Now, the hotel I stayed at happened to be up here. And let's see. This was it. What is it? The Ritz-Carlton. The Ritz-Carlton in Kapalua. But just look at the coloring. Look at how beautiful the greens. It is crazy. It is crazy how beautiful the grass is in Hawaii, the colors of everything. Vincent Gallipo with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Vincent. Says, in Canada, we had our share of wildfires this year. We know how hard it can be. Oh my God. We're still getting the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. I'm not saying that the wildfires by any means are only a problem in Hawaii. Obviously, all over the country, the world deals with wildfires. Most of the years you hear about wildfires in California, Arizona. It's goddamn unusual to worry about wildfires in Hawaii. It came out of left field for me. I never thought I'd see the day with some of these
Scanning. Indications negative at this time.
With some of these pictures of these before and after maps of what was going on. I mean, this tree was planted in 1820 or something, and it's like the oldest tree on the fucking island. And a fire came up to it. Now, last I heard, it had damaged the tree, but the tree was still alive, still standing. I don't know. It it came out of left field, and then we got some other news out of right field. Got the whole 1-2 punch today, and here's I said we're going to the pictures. We are going to the pictures. So this is that hotel. I know it's not the greatest picture, but this was some of the first pictures I took after landing in Maui, getting to the hotel, looking up at that mountain was actually covered in snow when the cloud disappears. There's some snow at the top. This is from my hotel room. It had just rained. That's why it's not beautiful and sunny. You can see the sun in the distance. And then there was actually a burial ground. This was a native burial ground, so it was very spooky. They would talk about at the hotel about how the native Hawaiians were not happy when they found a burial ground while they were building the hotel. And apparently they decided that they would leave certain land empty because of the people that were buried there. And so, kind of feels weird that this luxury hotel was literally built on a burial site. This was the reason I was there. I know it's ridiculous, but if you see in the distance, there's a Bose radio, custom DVD VCR player, and a Sony projector, so that my boss could have a big screen television that had his internet, his TV via internet from his house in New Rochelle, New York, would come to Hawaii, and he could watch it in Hawaii. So yeah, that was my setup. And it got me there a night before he got there, sometimes 2 nights before he got there, and that was fun. It was fun. This is driving around. It's green and wet. I mean, it's a rainforest. You don't think it's going to dry up. And here was another day. My boss's plane was coming in. You see, it was raining again. This big one here, that's a private 727, a Boeing business jet. Technically, the plane was owned by Warren Buffett, but Mr. Frank used to rent it out when he wanted to go somewhere, because Warren Buffett was the only person who allowed smoking on his plane. Cigars. And Mr. Frank loved his cigars. So it was nighttime back at the hotel, and didn't know when I'd get out to see anything, so at night it was. And we had exercise caution about don't go in the water. Now, I wasn't going swimming in the middle of the night, but I needed to take a picture. I think it says something about box jellyfish. These are the pools at the hotel. which again were beautiful. That was me and one of Mr. Frank's caregivers. This was, I got to, this was this was the day I knew I was an engineer, because I was on my web forum, and I was told I got into Hawaii, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're in Hawaii! It's so beautiful." Blah blah. This picture was the one I was most happy for, and then there were some other pictures. I don't know what I did with them, but I was so happy. I was like, "Oh my God, you'll never!" I got to see where the HVAC equipment for the hotel rooms were. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And we're like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, my boss wanted the room cooler, right? He wanted the hotel room colder. And so he called and he complained, and they're like, "Listen, it's the air conditioning, it's working at the maximum amount. We don't know what to tell you. It's as cold as we can make it." And he, not happy with that, says, "Well, I've got an engineer with me. I want him to look at it." And I thought, well, surely they would tell him no. But I guess when you have millions and millions of dollars, people don't say no too quickly. So he did have an engineer with him. Now, he didn't say I was an electrical engineer, and I didn't say I was an electrical engineer. But they're like, "He wants me to go look." So what are they going to do? They're going to take me to go look. I was like, son of a bitch. And they did. And next thing I know, I'm walking across the roof of the hotel, and they're opening doors for me, and they got a team of techs there, and they're showing me the different fucking parts of the ventilation system, and I'm taking pictures like a fucking tourist. Like, oh my God, I never get to see things like this. And I took those pictures and I posted them to my web forum, and I got attacked. They're like, "My God, you nerd. You're here talking about these pictures of the air conditioning system when you're on fucking Hawaii. Like, go out and take pictures of the beach. Go take pictures of the people, go out and mingle. Go talk to people at the bar. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing taking pictures of a fucking air conditioning system?" And then it hit me. Why am I taking pictures of the air conditioning system? I'm in Hawaii. But it took a while. In hindsight, it was quick. I understand it now. When it was happening in real time, it was different. I mean, I guess I took a picture off the roof too, which was nice, but still. Anyway, I ended up telling Mr. Frank, yeah, it seems to be working good. And he was happy. Once I looked over it, he was happy. This is a picture from McDonald's. The local McDonald's drive-through. You'll notice they have, for breakfast, apple pie a la mode. Local breakfast platters. They had Portuguese sausage, eggs, and rice. They had Spam, eggs, and rice. And they have a local deluxe breakfast, which I guess was both Spam and sausage and eggs and rice. But note, Spam, eggs, and rice platter, $3.89. And that was expensive for the time. And you could meet the McTerry family of chicken sandwiches, $5.59 for the expensive McTerry chicken sandwich with teriyaki sauce. And the McTerry Deluxe Burger, also $5.59. This is the type of place that was on fire, that the fires were burning down. The Lahaina Post Office. This is, I imagine this area got burnt up. I was trying to confirm. I couldn't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure that entire area got burnt up. This is where the fires were burning right to the edge. And like you see, it looks like the water just comes up to the beach here. But if you look closely, there's no beach. There's no beach. There's nowhere you can walk out. It's not safe. Yeah, I mean, these are sharp. These rocks are sharp as F. You can't walk on them. You can't swim on them. Okay, there's a beach. You'd probably be okay to walk out a bit over there, but there's not a whole lot of beach. This is walking around at night. There was a restaurant or a bar that had my bottle of Coyopa rum. And at that point, the rum was like 5 years old, 5, 6 years old already. But more from the hotel room. There I was enjoying probably just ice water, probably ice water and cranberry juice. God, I don't even know, where did I find a shirt like that? That's some shirt. And my apologies for the jean shorts. It's my wife, my boss's wife. Beautiful trees. Beautiful. This was to drive up. I tried to drive up and around the western part of Maui. I didn't realize how small the road would get. Look at that. Look, that was my rented Jeep Grand Cherokee. Look at that red Grand Cherokee on that green background. This title of this picture should just be titled Pure Sex. That's look, even the Hawaii license plate. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. This is a beautiful fucking Jeep. That is one nice Jeep. There's a better. It's even bigger. Oh, look at that. That is anyway. Somewhere there's a picture of it's called blowhole. It's where the water comes up and it creates a hole. Oh, look at this. So I'm in a 2004 Grand Cherokee. There's a 2001 Grand Cherokee ahead of me, and in front of them is a 2000 Wrangler. So we had 3 Jeeps in a row. This is the stuff that's burned. Okay, this is close to the blowhole. I had to go over the edge to see it. Look at that grass. Look at how beautiful this grass is. And this is right on top of lava rock. Look at that Jeep. That red sticks out. Okay, where's, oh my God, look at that. Just look at that. And these idiots would build these rock statues. They thought they were being all, I don't know, spiritual and shit. It was just basically graffiti. Look at that. Another Jeep. Another Jeep. Fucking Hawaii. The land of Jeeps. This is it. This is the blowhole. Where is it? Somewhere. We're just going to get to the blowhole, then I'll put the pictures away. Look at that fancy Jeep. There it is. I know it's hard to see, but every so often the wave would hit at the right spot and it would shoot out. It would shoot out from there. Unfortunately, there I go. I got a little bit there. You can see. I think that was pretty much the best I got. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? You know what? I will be right back. I gotta take a pill. I gotta do a little Jaloja, and then I'll be back. We'll go through chats and do more. So I'm gonna play the Salty short in the meantime. So, Spock, what's on the agenda for today? Captain, as you are well aware, I am your first officer, not your secretary. Uhura, where's that coffee I asked for? I am the communications officer, not a waitress. Oh, geez, it's going to be one of those days. Okay? Those days. Yes, Spock, it's an Earth expression. It means I'm going to have a headache the size of Jupiter before noon. Maybe you shouldn't have consumed so much Romulan ale last night. Oh, you're a doctor now, Spock? Fascinating. One of those days indeed. Captain, we're being hailed from planet M114. On screen. Friend? Oh my God, man. What a hideous-looking alien. Ahem, sir. The frequency is open. It's okay, Spock. He must know how ugly he is already. Yes, sadly it's true. Salty knows I am an ugly alien. It's okay. What can we do for you? I want to invite you and your Salty crew to a party here on M114. We're going to have cake, appetizers, tapas, dancing, firewalkers, and a lot more. It's going to be the biggest party since the Big Bang. I like the sound of that. Maybe this day won't be so bad after all. Send the coordinates and we'll set course immediately. If I may. Damn it, Spock. This is why we don't get invited to the good parties. Can't you see I'm busy here? Captain, this creature is clearly a salt vampire, similar to the one we killed on M113. What? M113? My wife was on M113. Calm down, please. My science officer was mistaken. We didn't kill anyone on M113, did we, Mr. Spock? Mr. Spock, I asked you a question. Did we kill anyone on M113? Vulcans are known to be truthful. No, we did not kill anyone on M113. Well, why would he say that? Because he's an idiot. Do you know anyone on M112? My niece is on M112. I see. What about M109? No, I don't think so. Well, there you see, we were at M109. Mr. Spock confused it with M113. He's not very good with numbers. Well, he's not invited to my party. But you, Captain, and the rest of your crew, please beam down as soon as you arrive. No phasers, please. What can we bring? I have access to the finest spirits of the sweetest desserts in this sector of the galaxy. You guys don't have to bring anything. Though, maybe if your kitchen can spare a few extra salt packets. Sure we can. How many do you need? How many do you got? I'll order 24 salt packets. Does that sound good? Order 24. Are you sure, Captain? Absolutely. Order 24 now, Sulu. Aye, sir. Oh, God! The pain! The pain! Spock, what did you do? I thought you ordered an order 24, sir. This is what I mean by one of those days. Bones, I'm going to need some Tylenol. Stat. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a pharmacy. I'm going to order 24 sickbay if you don't get me something for this headache. Too soon, sir. Too soon. Dun, 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 dun.
Tab Cola, what a beautiful drink. Tab Cola, for beautiful people. Tab Cola, you're beautiful to me. Real cola tastes just 1 calorie. Tab Cola, what a beautiful drink. Tab Cola, for beautiful people. Tab Cola, it's beautiful to be so good and sugar-free. Tab.
Jordache has the fit that's right. The Jordache look. The Jordache look.
It's a corner of America with cozy harbor towns. It's salty air, wicker chairs, and a surf that pounds.
The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of the red, white, and blue. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit that we want to share with you.
For your free Massachusetts vacation kit, call 1-800-624-MASS.
Kodak introduces the extraordinary Kodamatic Trim Print Instant Color Film. Unlike the ordinary instant print, the extraordinary trim print lets you lift off the image to capture the color just the way you like it. And now look how slim I am. I slip easily into places the ordinary bulky instant doesn't fit. So you can keep me in style here in your album with your regular pictures. You can trim me. Watch it. And I'm so thin you can put me where you couldn't put an ordinary instant picture. You can show me off. You can do all kinds of things with me that you can't do with an ordinary instant picture. Here I am, with the new Kodamatic Trim Print Instant Color Film.
Anyone can do extraordinary things, but he didn't tell you Trim Print is only for Kodamatic instant cameras.
He didn't tell me it's only from Kodak.
What?
You didn't tell him it was only from Kodak.
Extraordinary.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. We are back. Took a little longer than I estimated. Let's go back and see where we are. Let's see. Last on the case is Bird wants AOC as his cuddle buddy. I wouldn't kick her away. Stanley says, yeah, Chrome is working again. Very cool. And Yvette puts in a link to, I believe, Mr. Londell's stream for tomorrow or later. Stanley says, I hate when that happens. Chrome will suddenly refuse to load YouTube pages, but they're fine in Edge. John Araki says, Bird needs to change his intro to Aloha World. Instead of Hello World, it's Aloha World. Dan Ben says, I heard about that on the news. Have you visited Hawaii? Yes, Stanley, I did. Back in 2005, I was there for a month. We went to Maui, Lanai, and Big Island. John Araki says, which island was Lost filmed on? I believe it was filmed over several islands. Stanley says, can you do a loop bar crawl? Probably, but I don't think there's a whole lot of bars during many parts of the loop. Last on the case is Hawaii is similar to Puerto Rico, a beautiful tourist area surrounded by shitholes where the residents can afford to live. I don't think it's anything like that, last son of K. I've been to Puerto Rico and I've been to Hawaii, and I'd take Hawaii. It's nicer. Naturally, I mean, Puerto Rico's nice too, but Hawaii's mountains blow away Puerto Rico. Stanley says, and still lots of smoke. Potato Revin is in the house. Hello, Potato Revin. Stanley says, I guess that's a risk you take, living next to a volcano or on a volcano. Yeah, no, that's a risk for sure. Living on a volcano, you're always a possibility, lava is going to come pouring through your house one day. Generally, lava moves slow enough that you have a chance to get out. But, there's plenty of highways where the lava came and decided I'm going to block your road now. And that's it. It's done. Potato Revin is going live later talking about Heaven's Gate cult. Come check us out. The Heaven's Gate cult. That was in Rancho Santa Fe, another place I was in a lot. Potato Revin says Ireland's greener. Hope they don't lose no more. That town is gone off the map. I hope so too. Stanley says in California has some serious ones a couple years back. Videos look like total apocalypse. Look like the apocalypse. Yeah. Gorilla says there's nothing to burn in Canada. I don't think that's true. Stanley says, where are all the military bases that were bombed in World War II? Honolulu? Yes. Different island. Different island. That's the island that's all built up now. Last on the case is Canadian maple syrup is going to be more expensive than gold next year. And Stanley says, nowhere to run, baby, nowhere to hide. And I think it's probably a volcano. Cinnabon Bunny says, hello, Cinnabon. Stanley says, watch out for the dinosaurs. Deed says, Rutro, Cinnabon is here. Hakeem says, that's a beautiful picture of the hotel with the mountain in the background. And Stanley says, it's probably haunted. Funny furry battle in chat, says Last on a K. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz, Kapla, says Bird of Prey, I have been through a typhoon, hurricane, and volcano eruption, earthquake, and several tornadoes. They are still not as deadly as my in-laws. Fair enough. Stanley says, and a projector, like an old Slingbox. Yes, a Slingbox actually came later. The Slingbox was later. When I first had to do it, I had Sony had a device that had its own screen, but the screen had a video out. And Stanley says, oh, he used his own projector and brought his own privately portable screen. Yes. Well, actually, it's his projector. It was his projector. But the screen, generally, I would try to buy a screen locally, but if I couldn't, well, sometimes I would just rent a screen from the hotel. Usually they had screens to rent that usually people would use in their business center, but you could get them in a room if you needed to. Usually it was just cheaper to buy one and leave it there than it was to rent. Bird of Prey didn't get to fly on the PJ, the BBJ, and I got to fly on it on occasion, but most of the time I had to get there before him. So generally I went like a day or two early, commercial, and then him and most of the staff would come in on his plane after I was already there. But there were a couple of times I did get to fly on the plane with them. Not a lot, but enough. And Stanley says it was plump. Bird of Prey. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was well over 300 pounds. Last Son of K says, sometimes I forget how tall Bird actually is. I would say was, but yeah. Yeah. Mama Prey says, I still am, of course. Of course I am. Stanley says, you hacked his HVAC. I didn't hack it. I just, I had to give the all good. That it was definitely operating at peak efficiency. Stanley says, like a water heater that has to a safety so it doesn't get too hot, or in this case, too cold. Yeah, I don't know what it was, Stanley. I just know it looked like it was running good, so I gave it my okay. Vincent Gallipo says, Star Trek Strange New World musical episode was hilarious, but was it good? Not to me. Not to me. Deej says, Bird loved it. You know I didn't love it. Sean is laughing. Stanley says, Vincent Gallipo, no, it was a selfish indulgence by the producers who were probably begging to do a musical episode. A fun musical episode. Sean says, this is golden. Stanley says, Vincent Gallipo, Strange New World has basically become live action parody equivalent to Lower Decks. And Vincent says, maybe the producers were on drugs. I'm sure they are. And Last Son of K says, but Lower Decks has slightly better writing. Stanley says to Vincent, is estrogen a drug? Fair enough. Carl Albanese says, spam. It was Sunday. It might have been. Stanley says, yeah, it's just like they don't seem to really respect Star Trek. They just use it as a platform to do whatever wacky shit they come up with. Vincent Gallipo says, the Stan lol, I think it is. Stanley says, volcanic rocks. Yes, that's what it was, volcanic rocks. Vincent Gallipo says, Klingons could be in a Michael Jackson video clip. Stanley says, and full was empty when Bird left. And full was empty when Bird left. Deej says, Bird says, you can't get in the water as it shows people in the water. Okay, you can't get in the water by those rocks. And Stanley says, jorts, classy. Hey, I never had a problem with denim. Professor Brainy Speck says, kabla. Kabla. No, kabla. Kabla, Professor. Last Son of K says, of course they don't respect the Star Trek IP. TOS is problematic to modern audiences who believe in wokeness. They ultimately want to remake TOS and ship Kirk and Spock. Deej says, is that a rainbow on the plates? And is that the same Jeep you got stuck? Okay, no, it's not the same Jeep I got stuck. But yes, it is a rainbow on the plates. And I had no problem with it. Not my wife, my boss's wife. Dan Ben says, there's a lot of narrow countryside roads in England. If someone's coming the opposite direction, no way you can get around each other. Yes, that's exactly what it was. The road was too narrow. And yeah, I ended up going back. I ended up backing up like quite a distance because there was no way to get around, and I did not. I wasn't sure how much longer it would go. This was before, Google Maps. This was before, well, I mean, we had we had GPS, but I didn't have a good map. So I didn't know how far I was before the road would get big again. And so I just backed up. I had no idea how much longer it would have been. So I ended up backing up quite a distance. Let's see. Stanley says just keep rolling through Pike's death and then roll directly into a show with Kirk as captain. Last on the case is Stanley, at least in the back pocket, they attempt in their back, it's at least in their back pocket to attempt that at some point. I'll have to see if CBS lets them go that far. Stanley says, watch out for the dinos. Carl Albanese says 3 Jeeps on a road, 1 on a mission, 1 on a tow, and 1 is being driven by Joe. Stanley says, hey, that's an ancient structure. Okay, who wants to see my trip to Japan? Geyser. No, not a geyser. It's a blowhole. Carlos says Japan. Daniel's Hot Topics is damn writer's strike. It gets worse and worse. Now all my favorite movies have been delayed to 2025 at the earliest. Sorry to hear that, Daniel. And Daniel confirms William Shatner is the best Kirk. Indeed. Stanley says, Daniel's Hot Topics. Who knows when, if we'll ever get the second part of the Strange New World cliffhanger. True. Carlo Albanese says, Kirk in space. And Professor says, hopefully we never get the second part. Stanley says it could easily just get canceled in the shakeup. Indeed, I hope so. I hope so. What do we got? What do we got? Stanley says, and is the next season of Lower Decks in the can? Very possible. Carlos says, intermission. Stanley says, trouble is, New Discovery is probably ready to. I hope not. And D says, no, you can't have your tab until you order something. And Hot Daniel says, whatever happened to Tab Cola? Professor Brainy Specs says, damn, we are so inconvenienced to not have horrible television and movies to watch. The horror. D says, Marty McFly erased it out of time. Daniel says they discontinued it, which is sad. Now Kohlers are not as good. Mike Richards says greetings to Professor Brainy Specs and to Deej. Deej says hi back. Dan Ben says whoever had a Kodak photo cube. Hakeem says I always liked RC Cola over Tab. And Dan Ben does not like vanilla Coca-Cola. Professor Brainy Specs says first Tab, then horrible television shows and movies. Why is everything canceled? D says, I did, Dan Ben. I took pictures of numbers and turned them into a big dice. D says, the problem with birds saying aloha world, we know that we wouldn't know if he was coming or going. That's right, aloha. Aloha is like kapla. It can be used as hello or goodbye. See, Klingons have a lot in common with Hawaiians. You never know if they're coming or going. Dan Ben says, on my Android phone, next to Chrome, when does it sometimes have a notification number? I don't see any notifications. I don't know. Professor Brainy Specs says, Deej, Bird doesn't know either. That's probably true. Deej says true. Dan Van says, good, we both traveled places before we had to stay home. Indeed. Indeed, I quite enjoyed my travels. Deej says, this whole stream has me convinced now Bird will be voting Biden next year. No, I don't see me voting. I don't see me voting Biden anytime soon. John Aragi's hashtag Rancho, relax though. Captain Fandom Nerds says hello to Cinnabon. Dan Van says they have been wanting to do a musical episode. And Stan Lee says Map Quest. The Traveler, Kapla Traveler, says greetings, birds, turds, and nerds. I don't know if you missed most of the stream. You missed quite a bit. It was I was telling my tales of Hawaii and how Hawaii was my safe place, and now it's gone. I was being brutally honest for the first hour or so. Hour and a half, or an hour and a half in now. Daniel says the last episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds was interesting. I might give it another watch. So the Gorn devour that entire world minus 4 people. They beam up to the Enterprise. Wow. The Traveler is sorry about the fire in Hawaii. Don't have to tell me. Dan says, didn't they already start filming Strange New Worlds before the strike? I read that they already started filming. I don't know, Daniel. I wouldn't be too sure. Professor says, hopefully they don't finish Strange New Worlds season 3. Stanley says, but you only get laid when you're coming, right? It is true. If you're coming onto the island, that's when you're supposed to get laid. Those are the rules. I didn't make them. The Traveler, says Professor Brainy Specs, is Strange New Worlds that bad? Yes. Worse than Discovery? Maybe. Maybe. Dan Ben likes traveling on buses and trains. Professor Brainy Specs says the Traveler is pretty bad. Some of it makes me want to throw my television out the window. And John Araki says Bird lives in New York. Mail-in ballots comes in pre-checked for Biden. He has to cross that off and write in AOC. That's true. So, okay. We're going to do one more look at some pictures, but just because. Just because. That's the Jeep that I sunk. This was after I got it out, mind you. On the island of Lanai, there were five Jeeps that we could rent, and I was in charge of renting them. So I kept the red one for myself, and the other 4 yellow ones I gave out to the rest of the staff. So the red Jeep was mine. So it was quite embarrassing when I sunk it. And they had to rescue it. I rinsed it off with a hose. I found it at the hotel. They told me where the hose was, so I could rinse off some of the mud. this is where I started sinking it though. Yeah, this was it. I didn't realize I had turned, and it was low tide. So this at high tide, this was covered with water. I didn't realize. Luckily, the guy driving the yellow Jeep behind me saw me sinking, and he stopped. And I'm like, why is he stopping? And when I started to turn, I realized that shit, I wasn't able to turn. And then I tried to back up, and that was a mistake. I tried to dig myself out with my hands. Look at how dirty I got. My shorts, my jorts, my knees, my sandals, my hands were covered in mud. It was a bad time. But hey, look, I was smiling. I was smiling. I was smiling. It was, I mean, I was covered in mud. I was covered in mud. I found a bucket. On the other side of this grass is the beach. And it was a beach that's covered in trash. So I found a plastic bucket, and I was trying to dig the car out with this plastic bucket. But I realized there was no way that was going to happen. And this water under my arm, that was the ocean. And the tide was coming up. The tide was coming up. So that was just going to get closer and closer to this. So we had to evacuate. I had to get in to the yellow Jeep. I had to get in the back of the fucking yellow Jeep. This is a tiny, somebody my size can barely fit in the front of this Jeep. It was ridiculous that I was in the back, but what else was I going to do? I couldn't throw the other person out of his own Jeep, and my boss's wife was obviously going to be in the passenger seat. I couldn't throw the old lady in the back of the Jeep, so I had to go in the back of the Jeep. And ultimate an ultimate form of I was humilitized. I was deeply what's that called? Humility, humbled? No, not humidity, son of a bitch. What's the word I'm thinking? I was mortified. I was, anyway, and it was terrible. It was terrible. Now that Jeep, that one wasn't one we could rent. That was when we went back to the store and we told them, yeah, we got the Jeep stuck. They're like, yeah, that'll be $500. It's like, I know, $500. That's what they told us. $500 to get your car unstuck. And that's what they did. And they brought it to me. And Now, $500 was literally just to get it unstuck, not to get it washed, not to get it cleaned. But I had it back. Then I was happy, and I got to wash it later. So, yeah, one of my favorite stories from Hawaii. Um, yeah. Anyway, driving around Hawaii. The Travelers' Wild Bird is all caught up. Deej says all these pictures and none of pretty girls. Uh-huh. Let's see. Well, there were pretty girls, but let's face it, they weren't there with me. So really don't really have anything to show. Here, there I am. There's me on a boat. There's another one of me. There we go. John Araki says, is it me or does that keep look unusually small? I don't know what you mean. The Travelers is Bird of Prey. Oh, the good old days. Show crashing Jeeps in real life, not just games. True. Carlos's question: Did Biden's son get his Coke back? He was really upset. He lost it. Stanley's is not the best spot to cross. I did not have a winch. Yes, we see the yellow Jeep in the back. Great driving. Deej Odyssey, photo caption. Hey, you guys. The Traveler says that picture needs a son of a bitch comic bubble. John Araki says reckless driving, public intoxication, lewd behavior. Bird can not go back to Hawaii again. Humiliated. That's what it was. Humiliated, embarrassed, inept, incapable, careless, carless. Yeah, humiliated. That was it. The Travelers is great story. Then he says, catch anything. He caught a 500-pound Jeep bill. Actually, we did catch mahi-mahi, dolphin fish. That's what it's called. Yeah. Maybe not me personally, but he just threw all the lines out and we rolled it back in, Nobody gave a shit who actually caught the fish. Let's see. I was confusing the Hawaii trip with the Bahamas trip. Right, the Bahamas trip had the had the barbecue and had the better pictures, to be blunt. Um, mm. So on the Big Island, which was a couple weeks later, I broke my Jeep. This was my first time in a 2005 Jeep, and the transmission broke driving up Big Island, driving up to Volcanoes National Park, and I had to pull over and get Hertz rental car. Had to come in and replace it. So they brought a new Jeep, and they took the old Jeep away. So I was at the Volcanoes National Park entrance center, which was closed, but at least I had somewhere to park safely while I waited, which was like 2 hours, for them to come and replace the Jeep. Yeah, people were like throwing money down these holes, and like first I want to go over like, oh, I should go breathe in the vent, and next thing you know, it says, warning, this is poison gas. You don't want to be breathing this in. For some reason, I figure, oh, it's natural. Of course I want to breathe in these deep gases from the center of the earth. And I know this is toxic shit. You don't want to breathe this in. Yeah, Volcanoes National Park, not super interesting at the time. I didn't really get to see any boiling lava. So. Deed says he also caught that dreaded Hawaiian ailment, lack o nookie. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, if anyone cares, no Waltons review tonight, and no Kring stock and Babylon 5 watch parties tomorrow. Sorry to hear that, Gorilla. The Traveler's bird crashed another Jeep. Yeah, there's sulfur. There's sulfur there too. Matt G is waving again. Welcome, Ben. Back, Matt G. Deeds is bird sniffing from the bunghole of the earth. T-Berg, Sci-Fi Tech, apply T-Berg. Says barbecued pineapple, anyone? Andy Garcia says, hey, yo, bird. Lahania seen the tree. Damn shame. Aloha, brother. And somebody gonna kiss the donkey. Yeah, thank you. Kapla, Andy. And some Hawaiian themed emojis. Yeah. And then the fire. Yeah. Yeah, that tree. Poor tree. Fuck. Poor Lahania. The whole fucking place. The whole place. The whole place. Yeah. So this is where basically the fires are. Anyway. Um, oh, yeah. So just a heads up. If anyone still runs an old 10-plus-year-old Bose subwoofer, it's being recalled. I actually had one of these. I ended up selling it like 10 years ago. I can't imagine it's still in use, but I mean, they goddamn lasted forever. So if somebody had it set up, they might still be using it. So you should know Bose recalled 1 million ancient subwoofers. The affected modules were sold between 1994 and 2007. So, yeah, if you're still using a very old Bose system that has a subwoofer, you should check it out if it's being recalled, because they're actually doing a recall for fire. And that's crazy. Any other brand that old, no one would still be using it. Just a heads up. Okay. It is time for Wordle. It's time for Wordle. So first, people to give me a 5-letter word for Wordle, we'll do it. The traveler says bird of prey, just so the record is correct. How many vehicles have you caused to stop functioning in your life? Well, let's see. The first one was the 6-wheeled ATV I hit into my dad's Lincoln when I was up in the Adirondacks. Although, to be honest, both the Lincoln and the ATV were drivable, so I don't think that counts. I damaged one with the other, but both were drivable. Then I got hit by somebody else while I was driving once. I don't think that counts for me. It counts against them. I guess there's that one in Hawaii, 2 in Hawaii. I mean, again, the one where the transmission went bad, that's not my fault. I just happened to be the one driving. I would say anywhere from 1 to 3. From 1 to 3. And funny if they all didn't happen in Hawaii. The Traveler says, I think my dad used to have one for a subwoofer. T-Berg says, holy Boses. D just saying cheat, crash. D just saying cheat. Mike Richards says crash. D yells cheat. Okay, cheat. Cheat, cheat, cheat. So you're telling me to cheat, but you're saying to use the word cheat. Cheat. And we have HE. Okay. So H-E, heel. No, that's an A. That's an A. Heinz? No. No, I don't think. I'm sure, no. Hmm. Heck, don't know. The C's already done. Help. Help. Helps. Helps. H-E-L-P-S. H-E, oh wow, helps. Okay. Hell. 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 Hells. I can't do S. Helly. 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 No. No. Hello. Hello world. Hello world. It's Berto Bray 5. That was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. Okay. Well, there you guys go. What was Joseph's clue? Hi. Hi. Carl Albanese says Foley. The Traveler yells audio. Gorilla says might get some good hail soon. Hope you are safe. Richie Bull says, I am back. Did you miss me, Deej? And Deej just saw Richie. You also miss Bird is going to be riding with Biden next year. The Traveler says, Vertebrae, I should have said crashed, stuck, hit, failed. Richie says, Bird's going to do what? He says he's sounding more like a Biden buddy. Richie Fool says, Bird is more likely to take a dump with Trump. Deej says, hello, world. Indeed, the Traveler says, hello, lol. And 47 Yorktown asks, is this the Vulcan hello? God, no. God, no. Don't make me think about the Vulcan hello. Resolute Germ says, hello, all. Hello, Resolute. And Gorilla says, nope, just off work. Todd T-Berg, Sci-Fi Tech, says, hello, squirrels. It's Berto Bray 5's bowl of nuts. Okay, let's all head to Dear Bob. It's that time for Dear Bob. 47 Yorktown says sorry. It's okay, 47. Carlo puts in a squirrel emoji. Dear Bob, why is it so hot? Well, there's two schools of thoughts. One is that it's summer. The other is because human beings combined with the patriarchy have caused temperatures throughout the solar system to go up unexpectedly fast. And granted, every time you hear a story about the changing climate of the Earth, there's plenty of evidence that it's been much hotter and much cooler than it is right now. But for some reason, some scientists are absolutely certain that current temperature increase is due to mankind. And all the previous temperature increase, that was just natural. But now, what's happening from man, that's bad. But when it happens naturally, that's good. Now, what if it's just man got us where nature would have taken us in 100 years? Man got us there 100 years quicker. Is that good? No, that's bad. Okay. Well, why is it bad? I don't know. Because it's not good. There's a certain logic. It's very hard to understand.
You didn't ask my opinion.
You had an opinion.
I told you about my opinion on the weather.
Um,
All the weather.
What's your opinion, Mama Frey?
Chinese weather machine. Yes, they have one. And they control the weather of the whole earth. And they were going to hold us all ransom for it. In fact, they probably are. And that's the way it is. I read it in a book. I told you that.
Yes, you did.
I did. Of course, it was a fiction.
Carlo Albanese with a 34-month friend of Caroga super chat. Let's say hug for Mama Prey.
Oh, thank you. I'm going after.
Dear Bop, I lost my canteen of water. You can make your own canteen of water by peeing into a canteen. But I don't suggest drinking it. Dear Bop, my name is Nathaniel Wetpants. I was wondering if you knew of a good YouTube channel where I can get a review of a cheap Xbox controller and a review of a cheap Nintendo Switch controller. Thanks, Nathaniel. Nathaniel, you might want to check out the YouTube channel of Rock Solid Productions. I don't know if it's necessarily a cheap Xbox controller so much as an inexpensive Xbox controller and an inexpensive Nintendo Switch controller. Dear Bob, Hawaii is, look at how they treated Tulsi. Oh, and not about land management. Fox News politics, experts throw cold water, Dems claim Hawaii wildfires cause climate change. Yeah, I'm not particularly interested in going to a Fox News opinion piece. Okay, I just don't give a shit. This isn't about opinions for me. It's about facts. And I know it's very hard to say that land management is factually the reason for something to happen or not happen. Dear Bob, since I know you're such a big Lost fan, have you watched From? It's made by the same creators. To be honest, the first season is worth a watch. It's free on Amazon Prime. The black guy from Lost is one of the main characters, and he does a way better job on here than Lost. Season 2 is out too, but it falls flat because they are trying to milk the story with filler. No, I had not heard of From, but if you're telling me the same people from Lost are involved in this show, and fuck it, I'm never going to watch it. It can sink on the boat it came in on. Deej goes, way to go, Mamo Pray. The Travelers has Gotta Love Mama Pray. Carlos says the American weather machine is bigger. Reggie Poole says, don't forget about the Jewish space lasers. The Travelers says aliens are at fault. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says yes. Mama Pray is a conspiracy theorist, so will be proven true in 6 months. The Traveler says this Nathaniel sounds, it's a fake. T-Berg says Pox News, it's contagious. D says, see, I told you, Bird is going to the dark side. Stanley says, from seems like more of the same. The bus people kind of suck. Carlos says, the dark side. Damn, did the bulb blow again? Hakeem says, instead of an island, they are stuck in a town. Seriously? I thought this was a joke. I'm not watching anything to do with Lost. Fuck them. Not happening. Anyway. I think that's probably enough for today. I thank you guys for listening to my rant. I really, really do feel terrible for everybody going through what they're going through in Hawaii. I wish I was in a position to help more people. If I could, I don't know. I don't know what I would do, but I'd be trying to help. I know that much. So unfortunately, it is what it is. Jedi Bill says, hey, Bird, it's going to take me a long time to get my PC up and running again. Need to get new parts. I'm sorry to hear that, Bill. DJ's Fringe was okay until the last 2 seasons. Then it got weird and sucked. Stanley says the power lines to go to nowhere. T-Berg says watch The Last of Us. Stanley says it's very creepy. Excuse to show home videos. Carl Albanese says thanks for the stream. Hope you have a fantastic Friday night. Hail Karoga. Thank you. The Traveler says there was a rant. Oh, at the beginning, Traveler. Stanley says, what vacation photos can we see next time? I mean, I have a whole bunch of photos. I have baby bird photos. I have photos from different trips. Bird at the Grand Canyon. I got Grand Canyon photos. Totally. I can show bird with various women at various parts of my life. Granted, I'm not with any of them now. And even if they're in a picture, it doesn't mean I was ever actually, quote unquote, with them in any significant way, other than I was with them in a photo. Stanley says, Bird at Niagara Falls. No, there's no picture of Bird at Niagara Falls because Sissa Frey didn't have a fucking camera when she let me out on the side of the fucking highway in the fucking freezing of the night to go look at the goddamn falls while everybody was waiting on me. Stanley says Deej Odyssey went to see his trip to Fire Island. Carl Albanese says the best part of the trip was the AC room. Yes. Yeah. It took me a while to understand why I was, you know, I was different. I was different than most people. Most people go to Hawaii and like say, oh, I had a beautiful time in Hawaii on the beach, or fishing, or hiking, or biking, or whatever. What did you do in Hawaii? I got to see where the hotel makes its air conditioning. Stanley says, figure you're close enough that you have visited Niagara. I tried. Are you coming to Canada, Bird? Not anytime. Not unless I make a miracle recovery, Daniel. I've been to Canada when I was younger, but not expecting to go anytime soon. That said, I was in Vancouver. I've been to both Vancouver and like closer to New York, whatever's right over the border from Niagara Falls. But Vancouver is just beautiful. It is a epically beautiful city. Well, not so much the city, but the view of the lake, or whatever it is, the water and the mountains. The city itself kind of didn't do a lot for me. Stan Lee says pig roast, luau, no HVAC. Oh yeah, the actual luau grounds. I was all about the HVAC. Carlos says when you're looking at the buildings in Amsterdam, that you missed all the boobies down the red light district. I had never been to the red light district in Amsterdam. Sisopre had been more than once, but I did not make it there. I was in Switzerland and Italy, but that was as a high schooler. And then I went back to Europe. I went to France for a quick business trip. And then my last time was two and a half weeks in London, in and around London. And that was a lot of fun. Stanley says, can marry a Canadian abroad for free health care? I don't think it works like that. Stanley says, and expensive. And he says, yes, seeing the mountains from your house in Vancouver is awesome. Stanley's Bird was making sure the red lights were working. Stanley says, I see London. I see France. Good for you. What did you say, Mama Frey?
It was a rhyme.
It was a rhyme. I figured it was. Okay. Okay, guys. Kapla all, Bird out.